tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. So happy to be here on this wonderful Sunday morning. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. I can tell you that second week of school has gotten a little smoother for me, so I'm really excited about that. I have some guests with me today. One who may be a familiar face, Mr. Ronnie Russell of Texas Black Pages is here with us.
Yes, I am.
And we have Miss Lakisha Fernando.
Fernando. Hello, everyone.
Yes, and she is with us today as well. Really excited to have her here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself in just a second. So what I'm going to do is take a back seat. I'll hop in every once in a while, but I'm going to let Mr. Russell here come in and take over the show.
So, Miss Fernando.
Ooh, I like it.
I like to say the first time that I seen you actually register your business on Texas Black Pages, I took a back seat because I was definitely amazed at your product because it was something different. As soon as I posted it, all I can say was this was an entry that was very unique, and I loved it. You know, I loved it, and definitely seeing it today, which the people are going to see today, how lucrative it is, how innovative it is, talking about branding and marketing and all that stuff. So first of all, tell the people about yourself, the who you are, and we can talk about your business after that, but introduce yourself and who you are.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. I am Lakisha Fernando. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I am married to Carlos Fernando, who is also part owner of Oh Snap Mirror Me Images. Together, we have 3 children, D'Angelo, Layla, and Kennedy, and they're 17, 14, and 9.
Oh,
and they
Girl,
keep
you
us
don't
busy.
look like you got no 17-year-old.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
First, tell me, for me, because Forbes say the women are becoming great entrepreneurs. For you, when you first got bit by the entrepreneur bug, what was that like for you?
Well, what I can tell you is that I definitely didn't wake up one morning and say, I want to be an entrepreneur today.
Right.
I think I can do it. It's something that came over time. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but I never thought that it was attainable for me, only because of startup and, there's always something else going on in my life, whether it's being a mom, whether it's being a wife, which, I take those roles very serious.
Right.
I'm also in the military as well.
How long have you been in the military?
I've been in the military for a total of 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes, 19 long years. But I've enjoyed every minute of it. But it's time for me to branch out and do something else outside of the military, which is how Oh Snap Mirror Me Images came to be.
Well, since you said that, tell us, how did Oh Snap Mirror come to fruition for you? Where did you see it? What thoughts did you have when you first seen it? Because obviously you had to go get it. And tell us about that.
Right. So a girlfriend and I, we attended this bridal expo in Houston. I want to say it was back in April, March time frame. And one of the vendors there, he actually had a mirror. Well, we thought that it was a plain mirror, so we're standing in front of it, we're checking ourselves out. Anytime we see a mirror, we got to make sure the hair is right, outfit is on fleek, as the kids say nowadays. And it said touch here. We're like, oh, what is this? So we touch the mirror, and it tells us get ready to pose, does this little cool countdown, and it's snapping pictures. We're just posing, and it's just snapping pictures.
That's so cool.
And I thought the same thing. This is cool, but it didn't dawn on me that this might be something good for us down here in Central Texas as well, until maybe a month or so later. I kept the brochure that the gentleman had gave me, and I did the research. I looked into it. We were the only ones in Central Texas to have one, and I just think it is a really great business venture, but I think it's really good for Central Texas.
Right.
And I love the fact that you said, a lot of times, going back to what you were talking about, you know, you always wanted to get into entrepreneurship, but you just didn't know if it was attainable.
Right.
And one of the questions that Ronnie asked, which I really liked, is, you know, when did that bug bite you? When did the entrepreneurial bug bite you? When did you, like, what made you just go ahead and go for it?
Well, it was actually shortly after I attended the Bridal Expo. You know, I thought to myself, well, why can't I be an entrepreneur?
Right.
You know, why not me?
Right.
You know, everyone else is doing it. You know, my husband, he has a good friend that he was in the military with, and he has his own carpet service. And, I mean, it's thriving, you know. So why can't I do it? Why can't we do it, you know? So I would say shortly after the Bridal Expo. And that's when I started doing the research on, you know, the difference between a DBA and, you know, what's a LLC and, you know, all of that. Because
So
I
you
had
actually
no idea.
did your research.
I did.
Right.
I did.
And that right there is one of the best things. A lot of people, because there's someone had added me to this Facebook group, and there was a young lady that came and she said, "Well, thank you for inviting me in the group. I want to start a business, but I don't know the right steps into starting this business." And you actually hit it on the head. Research.
Right.
Research is the best step. You know, I'm not going to say it is the only step, but it is the best step.
And the first step, for sure.
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
if you don't know what you're getting into, how do you know that this business is actually going to work? Because you have to do your analysis. Because if the area is saturated with this product, then what is going to set your product apart from the businesses that are already out there doing the same thing that you do? And that, to me, lets me know that, one, you're very intelligent and you want to be the best business owner that you can possibly be, because you took the selfless service approach. Let me be a good steward, because that's what most business owners don't have in the beginning. Let me be a student of my business instead of let me go start a business.
Right.
You didn't take the proper steps of being a good a student or a good steward by actually looking into the business, because you also still had a reach back, the guy that you met who could have been your mentor. But even in the same token, doing your research is going to allow you to know and understand that going from the research to the product to the branding to the entity, whether it's a sole proprietor, a LLC, a LP, what's actually going to put you into the frame of mind of, I'm doing good in Killeen. What about Austin? Let me do my research to see if Austin has it, because South by Southwest is coming, Texas Relays is coming, ACL is coming, and you also have
all the different festivals,
all the other festivals that happen, the Urban Film Festival and the Black publishers and stuff like that. Everyone has something that your product has the potential of being the niche. Because if you're in some type of business expo, you're the only one that's there, you become the niche.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
You're not just a vendor, you become the niche. And that's something that's good. So research. So from me to you, I'm proud of you for doing that, because it took a person to want to be the best at what they're going to step into. And you took that most humble approach with doing the research. So from me to you, I definitely commend you on that, and I'm definitely proud for you to do that.
So,
I
okay,
appreciate that.
awesome, and I got questions in my head though. Like, I want to make sure I get it out. Okay, what resources? How did you do your research? Because a lot of times we'll tell people to do something, but we don't really show them how to do it. You can say, some people say, okay, well, I'm gonna go on Wikipedia. No, you know, what are some of the resources that you use when conducting your research?
Okay, well, I will say I did not use Wikipedia, but I did Google, you know, because I've talked to business owners, and believe it or not, some of them are not familiar with what a proprietorship is, what an LLC is, and some of them will even tell you, you don't need that.
Right.
And I was
Yes,
like,
you do.
no, let me
Yes, you
do
do.
some more research into
Right.
that. So a lot of my research, it actually did come from the internet, not Wikipedia, but
Right.
it did come from the internet, and then making phone calls as well, you know, and, you know, as far as finding out, you know, the market in the area, That just came from me talking to people. You have to
Best
definitely
way.
get out and talk and network.
Best
you have
way.
to do that, and going online to find out, are there any other photo booths in this area? And if they are, what do they offer versus what I can offer?
Right.
What particular type of photo booth is it? Because every photo booth is not the same.
Correct.
Right.
There are different photo booths. And basically that was pretty much it. I take that back. I did go to the library because I wanted to, I'm in the military. I'm sure you can relate. If it's
Right.
not in black and white,
It doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist. So I went to the library also, and I read on small business owners, because I wanted to make sure that not only was this something, a product that we were offering that no one else was offering, but also that we were successful within our first year of business.
Right.
So you definitely have to get in the books, read. The internet is great, but you want something in black and white as well.
You
Right.
absolutely do. So, on a more personal note, how in the world do you balance being in the military, being a wife, being a mother of 3, and then taking on a new business?
Wow, the balancing act.
It's a lot. It's a lot,
it-
especially, no offense, fellas, but it's a lot for a woman because we are expected to hold it together. So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
do
But
too.
I have a great partner. I couldn't, this segment is not enough for me to talk about my partner. That's like my right hand.
What a
wonderful.
man, what a man, what a man.
What a mighty good man. Yes, he is. Yes. So my partner, my husband, Carlos Fernando, he's awesome. Anytime I come to him with an idea and vice versa, as long as it makes sense and it's not going to break the bank, okay, let's do it. Then my kids are old enough to where they understand that, we work and, the importance of the business. So they're a great support system as well.
awesome.
And that's how I've been able to do that
You still
balancing
cook?
act. Yes, I do.
So, what time you cook?
Well,
In the morning? Do you cook in the morning? Because that's what I do. I cook in the morning and put it up.
sometimes you do those little crock pot meals. You just throw
Girl,
everything in the crock pot.
Yes.
You come home, it's
Some
already
wonderful
done.
stuff. You can do some amazing stuff in the crock
You
pot.
sure can.
Well, I don't have a crock pot.
He puts olives in his spaghetti.
Hey. We're not
Yeah,
talking
look at him
about
side-eye.
spaghetti.
Who puts olives in their spaghetti? Have you heard of that?
Olives,
not.
mushrooms, all the other
I heard
good
of
stuff.
mushrooms,
I
but
have
olives.
I've
Yes.
heard of people putting pepperoni in their lasagna.
That's good.
It probably is, but
Olives and spaghetti, that don't sound right.
But
it doesn't.
let me ask you this. Because you spoke about your kids
Mm-hmm.
and your husband and yourself are both entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
We as parents have the same duty and responsibility of fostering ownership
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yes.
So did you receive that when you were coming up? Because I know when I was coming up, my father made us cut grass. He'll come home, he'll go to self-help, come home with the lawnmower with the rake attached to it, and come in the house, say, all right, who want the front and who want the back? Did you receive that? What was that like for you? Did you have that type of fostering some sort of ownership coming up?
Oh, absolutely. I could totally relate to your scenario because my dad didn't have any boys. It's me and my sister, and my sister loved her dearly, but she would always pretend like she couldn't do something to get out of it. So it was really just me. We had a backyard that was about as big as a football field.
Oh.
No
wow.
lie. And
Nice.
it would
Girl, don't
just
tell
be
me you was out there mowing.
me and my dad.
Girl.
Me and my dad.
Did you have a riding
Me and
one?
my dad. No, we didn't.
Girl, wait a minute.
A riding lawnmower. That was like a cuss word in my house. Like a riding lawnmower. No, we did not. So,
Was it hot?
Ohio in the summer with that index. Girl.
So, being that was fostered in your household coming up, how did that transcend to your home? Now that you have a husband that's supportive of you, and you have your styles of leadership that is coming from the military, from what they taught you coming through the various schools that they have for us to teach us about leadership, but a lot of that was was taught at home, which and I know and understand that, you can go to a school to be an NCO, but a leader is something that you have to adapt to, having that adaptability. But transcending that and coming into your home with your kids, how do you foster that in your home with your children?
Oh, it's so funny you mentioned that, because there's been a couple of times when my husband has had to say, the kids are not your soldiers, and and I had to bring it, you're right, I had to bring it down a little bit. But for me, I try to foster the same things or the same values and morals or instill that in my kids at home, and it's no different with the soldiers.
Right.
I try not to do that too much with the soldiers, because then I'm going into my beliefs. I'm like forcing my beliefs on them.
Right.
But for me, it's no different. It's not. I just have to remember, you're mommy at home. You're not Sergeant First Class Fernando at home.
Right.
So I just try to stick with the upbringing that I have, and it's gotten me a long way, even though there were a lot of hot days cutting that grass.
Right.
But, I try to teach my kids that, hard work doesn't go unnoticed. It goes a long way, and it will carry you a long way in life. You're not going to make it off of my back.
Right.
Okay. If you want something, you have to get out there and you have to get it for yourself.
Now, when your kids are watching you do this business, have you noticed any entrepreneurial type things come out in them? I noticed with my son, all my kids really. I'm a business owner. I own a music academy. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And so my kiddo, he has a business notebook. And he writes down all his business ideas in there, and he has invention ideas and all of this stuff.
That's great.
And like my daughter, I ask her, "What are you gonna do?" She's like, "I'm gonna be a business." I say, "You gonna be a business?" "I'm gonna be a business." She's 4. You know what I mean? But they all have. None of the things that they are saying is something where they're working for somebody. Everything that they're talking to me about is where they're their own boss. Have you noticed that with your kiddos since you've gone into starting your own business, or just period?
Yes, absolutely. My youngest daughter, she has, I think, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like these rubber band toys where you can make bracelets and necklaces, and she comes home with this paper and she says, "Mom, these are all my orders." So I need to get started on making the necklaces and the bracelets,
Wow.
And then my oldest daughter's like, "Well, Mom, I was thinking I could do something like $1 cupcakes, because we bake too." She's like, "I was thinking I could do like $1 cupcake Fridays," and I was like, "Okay."
Listen, let me tell you. Have her do it. We made so much money when I was in high school. See, here I'm from Texas, so we do breakfast tacos. Man, look, I used to sell breakfast tacos. We used to make so much money. The school told us we couldn't sell them no more.
Oh wow!
Listen.
But yeah, so
she gonna make a killing.
Yeah, so they're constantly coming up with new ideas, and I welcome that.
Right.
I definitely foster that, because I just believe that, the sky is the limit for them. And I tell them that all the time. You don't have to have a boss. You can be the boss.
Yes.
So.
And I think that, to me, is retilling the ground, because a lot of the groundwork that's happening in the community, we have to retill it and plant new seeds. Because in order for the harvest to be bountiful, you need to ensure that the seeds that you plant are the proper seeds that's actually going to manifest into what we would like it to be, which is something productive. Because you can have a kid, and if you don't plant the proper seeds in that child, then how can you expect that child to be productive if you're not planting those proper seeds? If you're not speaking to that child about finances, if you're not speaking to that child about justice and injustice, racism, and actually speaking to them about whether it's college or whether it's about them owning their own business, you have to have those continuous conversations. You can have that talk, but it's about the conversation.
Right.
Because when you talk about something, it's just the exchange of words. But when you communicate and you have that conversation, it's the exchange of understanding and comprehension that you have between one person and the next.
Absolutely.
Because to learn is the process of acquiring knowledge. because you want to know, is your child learning something? Does your
Yes.
child understand the concept of business? Because if that child understands the concept of business, then that child then develops a business mind. He or she then develop a business strategy. So when they become a lot older, they have that I remember when story. We have plenty I remember when stories in the military, but now they're going to have that I remember when story with mom, because mom, I have this idea, and they're bringing it to you. That is going to be the introduction to their entrepreneurship, because they're having a conversation with mom. And when they grow up into the age to where they understand what a DBA is, they're also going to know how to go and register. So from the concept to conception, that is how we as parents should then speak to our children. We talk to them about from concept to conception. And then it goes from the concept to conception into the manifestation of the end product, which is registration. Because they've done the homework, they've done the research, they understand how important that a logo is and how important that a website is. Just like we were speaking earlier, a lot of businesses, they think that Facebook is their end all. Facebook is not your .com.
Right.
Facebook is just a social search engine, and that's all it is. But in order for you to compete as a business, you have to be competitive.
Right.
Because it's not just about your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Google Plus and all that stuff. You have to have a .com. Facebook works, it's functional, yes, but your .com is going to allow you to be competitive with businesses, because when you go to the bank, the bank is going to ask you, what is your website? Because on the paperwork, it's asking you about a website. It's not asking you about, well, what's your hashtag or what's your Twitter handle. It's asking you all the components. Your social media is just a component of your business, and we as business owners have to get that concept down pat, that Facebook is not my website. Facebook is just a component of my business, and your logo is important. I know we spoke about your logo,
Yes,
just
we
being
did.
transparent. Also, we as business owners, we have to be transparent. We have to love the business that we're in and love business owners that we sit down and communicate with, because I want you to be just as successful as I am. So I have to be transparent. So if I say something, I'm saying it out of love. I'm saying it out of love and not out of just being constructive criticism, but I'm saying it because I love the business that you're in.
Right.
So when I love the business that you're in, I ensure that the love transcends into you becoming the best you that you can be in your business. And
Okay, so here's a
I
couple
love
of
your
things.
idea. I love it.
Thank you.
And first of all, the things that I'm going to talk about have nothing to do with your logo, but I just have to, we have to talk about a couple of these things. Okay. Businesses. Number one, when putting together a photo collage, do not use one of these apps that has the name of the app that you're using at the bottom of it and using it for advertising
Crop
your
it.
business. Crop it out. It takes 2 seconds. I can't tell you how bad that looks. When you are posting, make sure that you go back and you look for grammatical errors, because if you have grammatical errors, misspellings, and things of that nature, people are going to be like, what in the world? They're going to think, listen, I've had
I'm
to go
guilty.
back and double check. I'm like, what did I just say?
Right.
Make sure that you double check for grammatical errors. Also, even though Facebook is not the end all, it's very important that if you're going into business, you have to make sure that your, not only your business page, but your personal page is where it needs to be as well. You
Right.
can't have vulgarities up there. You can't have cuss words and little twerkers and stuff like that on your Facebook page and expect people to take your business serious. Look, somebody said preach. You can't, but you can't have that up there and
Yeah.
expect people to take your business serious. You cannot go on Facebook rants. You cannot trip on put your personal stuff out there
No.
if you want people to take you serious.
Right.
Some of this stuff I have learned, and I'm just saying, and I've watched, and really, when you're talking about, I have so many people now that's business owners. But if you're really talking about really doing this for real, then you have to have a professional approach in everything that you do. I'm not saying your Facebook page can't be personal anymore. You can post cute pictures of your kids. I done seen about 57 1,000 back
First
to
day of
school,
school.
first day. I did it myself. But of course you can do those things. But just for my listeners out there that are business owners or that are looking to get into business, make sure that your image is seamless, because image truly is everything.
And you are your brand.
Yes, you are.
We have to ensure that we understand that, because you are your brand. When you wake up in the morning, you are your brand. When you go to the store, you are your brand.
As
When
much
you
as you
sit
might want to
down-
put that bonnet on your head.
Yes, when you
comb
sit
your
down
hair.
and communicate with someone, you are your brand.
That's
So
right.
when they see you, they see your business. When they see your brand, they see your business. And when they see your logo, they see your business. So it has to be continuity. You
Right.
can't have just be your brand. I'm not gonna put it out there to say what is or what isn't, but just ensure that your brand is transparent. Ensure that your brand is the you, and just be the best you that you are. Because business these days is hard. Business these days is hard because there's always someone that want to do the same thing that you're doing. There's always someone that feel they can do what you're doing better than you. There's always someone that want your job,
Right.
period. But you always have to be one up. I mean, you have to roll with a group of people that understand that your drive and your passion and your vision is truly one of the utmost in your conversations, and they're not going to come and bring mess to you. So definitely monitor your circle, especially like the Chris Brown thing. It's someone bad that was in his circle, and a lot of the stuff that's coming out to saying that he had nothing to do with it. But not to talk about that particular subject, but monitor the people monitor the circle that you keep,
And treat people right.
yeah.
Make sure that you do good business. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yes.
If you're not going to do it, don't do it. Don't say yes to it because you feel pressure to try to help and that's not something you're able to do. Make sure that you really do treat people right, because honestly, the way that you're going to really get business is by word of mouth. And mostly everyone, think about it like this. If you're going to go right now, you say you want to go get a new tablet. Before you make that purchase on that tablet, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go Google. You're going to do the
Research.
reviews.
Yeah.
So when somebody's coming and they're going to say they decide they want to do business with you, they're going to do their research. And usually that is going to go say, let me talk to somebody that's worked with her. Oh, I know such and such worked with her. Let me ask her or him about it. So make sure that you're treating people right, because that really does reflect on the kind of business you're able to do.
Absolutely.
Quick question: what's your next level?
There are no levels for me. It's not. I don't know. To me, that kind of goes along with the sky is the limit. I just feel like I can just go as high as I could possibly go. Just keep going. Right now, we're thinking about actually getting another photo booth, but in a different location, possibly in Cincinnati, Ohio, because there's a business need out there as well. And we're also thinking about branching out into Las Vegas as well, because there's
that'd be good.
definitely a need out there.
Have you done an event yet?
We are in the process of planning events. We're possibly doing the Killeen Jazz Festival, which is going to be September the 24th. And we're also thinking of doing the Armed Forces Natural Hair Care Show, which is October the 2nd. So if we do go ahead and decide to book those events or be a sponsor at those events, it'll be on our Facebook page, and we'll
Right.
also have it on our website as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
And with the mirror, how much leverage does it help businesses with branding? Are they able to put their logo in the package? Are they able to just completely customize it? How does that work?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. We are able to brand your event. Even with our social media kiosk, we can even put your business on the social media kiosk. We can change the preset to your business logo.
Awesome.
We can do a custom backdrop. or step and repeat, as we call it, with your business logo on the backdrop as well. So you name it, we could do it for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank Mr. Ronnie Russell of Texas Black Pages and Miss Lakisha Fernando of Oh Snap Mirror Me Images. Had a wonderful time talking to you. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, our business number is 254-247-0487. We're also Oh Snap Mirror Me Images, Central Texas. I know Toni said that's a lot, but we're on Facebook. But we also have a website as well, which is www.mirrormephotobootcentraltexas.vp.web.com. I know it's a lot, but
we're going to change all that.
Well,
it'll be changed, y'all. Y'all just keep on looking. We're going to get that together. But yes, you are, and this is the thing, you're starting up. And that's what, and I do have to say that when you start, you have to start from somewhere. Right. You know, a lot of times people just think they want it to be just this, like that, and it's not. You know, you have to take those steps. So proud of you, sister, for going forth and doing something that is unique, is different, and definitely needed in Central Texas. Want to thank my listeners for tuning in to Sundays at the Square on B106. You can find me, Toni Ringold. That's RINGOLD. You can find me on Facebook. Also be on the lookout for Mr. Ronnie Russell on TexasBlackPages.com. Want to thank everyone for coming and listening today. You can also check us out on myb106.com. Have a blessed Sunday.